start off with a word of prayer. So, dear Heavenly Father God, thank you for allowing us to assemble here on today to talk about a permanent issue that's occurring in the world today, and that is saving our youth and just saving our children. Our children are indeed the future, so God, we want to do what we can to get the word out, to protect them, to call soldiers forth, to call tribesmen forth, to call the elders forth, the prayer warriors forth, so we can help and save and protect our youth, because they indeed are the future. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen.
Amen.
Thank you all for joining us. And good afternoon. And welcome home. You are in the house with Chico. Today is just not an interview, it's a moment. We're discussing topics that have touched far too many families. That topic is gun violence and the fight to save our youth. My guest today is the incomparable Ms. Torian Hamilton. She is a mother, a survivor, and a woman who has turned the unimaginable pain into true power after losing her son to gun violence here in Montgomery, Alabama. Welcome, Ms. Hamilton.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Torian Hamilton again. I am your nonviolent in Montgomery, Alabama. I have been advocating for the last 13 years. And welcome, Mr. Chico. Thank you so much for having me this evening. Oh my God.
Yes, absolutely. I'm going to tell you the truth. First of all, thank you for sharing your story. Before we start, I just want to say, when I saw the video of you, on the ground where your son laid, it touched my heart. Even when I posted it to social media, it touched so many hearts. So many people were out there praying for you. And so it happened, was it 11 years ago? 13 years ago. And so it's still as important as it was back then as it is today, because we definitely want to keep Tim Hamilton's name alive.
Yes.
So at any moment where it may get too touchy for you, just let me know, and we'll pause and have some water. I have ginger ale, fruit splash. But you'll have your water. But just take time and get through, because we want to know who Tim was. He's more than just a statistic. He's a human being, and I'm saying he is because he's still here with us. So, who was Tim, and who was he as a person?
My son Tim, such a special young man. He was imperfect, but he was a gentleman. He was a ladies' man. Of course, he looked like his mom, but he favored his dad. Very loving, very funny kid, young man. We're going to say young man because he was 20. He wanted to belong. He wanted to marry. It was more than just violence that moment, that year, that time. I can remember. But I can never get back the years of laughter. The dreams that my son had going to college that very next year, my son didn't deserve what happened to him. But God.
But God. So, first of all, let me say you're so brave for what you're doing. Even talking to me this morning, and I see the work you've done. So, my heart is pounding. I'm sure everybody watching their heart is pounding as well. You said laughter, and it seems, because I know you, it seems like if you took up your personality, I'm sure there were a number of laughable moments. What are some of your favorite memories of the team?
I'm a dancer, so I wouldn't imagine, your children coming out dancing like you. My daughter, she's the oldest. She wasn't that into dancing, but Tim, that's my dancing partner. Anywhere, anytime, the smile. We love old music. You wouldn't think the children, we back in the 70s with Michael Jackson, me and him will have that competition of Michael Jackson all the time. It's a video out there flowing now. me and him do that competition. If I could just close my eyes now and I could just see my baby smiling. Come on, Mom, come on. You know what I'm saying? You can't do it better than me. But the laughter, the moments, the dancing, the moves, his voice, I can continue to thrive off that.
Yes. It seems like Tim was had a special move about it, especially with dancing. Dancing implies a certain level of freedom, because I'm a dancer too. Yes. And 13 years ago, the world knew that here in Montgomery, Alabama, along with Montgomery native rapper Dogi and another young lady, a college student out there named Chico shot as well. Kimberly Johnson, let's say her name. Kimberly Johnson. And Tim were all murdered at a local club here in Montgomery. What do you wish the world understood about that day that changed your life forever?
That day, not only just my son, I want everybody to know in the world, it was 3 individuals. I mean, for there to be a triple homicide, for it to reach CNN, we talking about Little Alabama, to reach CNN was the most horrific incident that I can remember. Not even 13 years ago, years before that triple homicide, it shook Montgomery, Alabama. It shook Montgomery, Alabama. We're not talking about Georgia, Florida, New York, Chicago. You can imagine CNN had that go all over the world. And it was only not just because of the weed. We talking about little old Alabama. We talking about what they call a slavery state. And I want everybody to stop calling Alabama a slavery state. This is a sacrificial state. They don't understand what we're sacrificing for this youth. For the people that are still here, that are parents that are still here in this state, not suffering but surviving, not surviving but surrendering. So we're not going to call this a slavery state anymore. We're surviving and we're surrendering, just like me and Mr. Chico here, to keep the awareness alive. The world needs to know, just right here in Alabama alone, all over, this violence among black on black crime. Especially, it does something to my heart. It does something to this state, for our county, which is Montgomery. And we're talking about the county of Birmingham, the county of Selma, Wilcott. We're talking about Auburn, Greenville, Mobile. Such small counties like that, but such a small state, come out with something with CNN all over the world, be national. This gun violence has got to stop, and it starts with black, African American, positive parents. Positive parents.
And speaking of that, positive parents have power. This is the organization you started. I've seen you on at the location where the incident happened. Mm-hmm. I see you on the Capitol. I see you everywhere that's advocating and trying to doing your best to save and get the word out about saving and empowering others to do the same. How did you find the strength after this happened to keep going?
But God, once again, even though this was 13 years ago, and I can rest in my mind like it was yesterday in court, I told them young men then, if it wasn't for God, where would I be? Where will I be? Because I can be in your shoes. I can trade shoes with you easily. Parents can trade shoes with his youth easily. And as an elder, to able to forgive 3 young men, not only them young men, I'm not just forgiving those 3 young men, I'm forgiving the prior that's already in prison. Because most parents cannot utter forgiveness about their child, about two other individuals. I didn't actually really know Don't Be. That's the youth era. That was my son's era. That was the era of the 3 young men that was in that incident that I had to stand up there and say, I forgive you. But see, I didn't forgive them for myself only. Because there's other families that cannot utter. I'm stepping outside of myself. I'm asking God to take this wheel and drive it where parents could not utter this. Where retaliation could come from parents.
I'm not sure what I would have done.
You know? So I'm speaking of positive parents. I'm speaking of a positive father. His father right here to this day. You know, I had to, we had to pray a lot as parents. We had to pray a lot as mother and father. We had to pray a lot as grandparents and aunts and uncles to not put retaliation in our hearts. You know, because that's an evil thing when God said, thou should not kill. Thou should not even have those thoughts, people. And so you got to rebuke those, because young people don't understand how parents can retaliate, how we can speak retaliation and have anger. I was angry in the beginning, knowing that's a God, and said don't go down on anger. Don't go to sleep in anger. Don't go to sleep with malice in your heart. Retaliation. So I see where there is no love with young parents between 18 and 35. You're not showing your children love, and so they're actually really pushing this failure or this lack of love or this lack of empathy and sympathy out in the world. This is what they're pushing, because they're not having this at the household. You can't tell me I'm not perfect, and I'm not trying to be perfect. I'm trying to give it to you real. Well, it is still hurting me on a daily basis. But God.
It's evident that our youth are under attack. And some parents may think that, hey, this doesn't affect me. I'm raising my kid right. But we just had a shooting, I don't know if I can say it on social media, incident downtown in Montgomery.
Oh my God.
Where other people didn't think it would involve them as well, but unfortunately they're no longer here. So it involves everybody. But going back to me saying that I see you everywhere advocating, keeping Tim's name alive, helping other parents, empowering other parents to do the same. What were the hardest parts of you grieving publicly and surviving in private?
Publicly, I say that God touched me in a way that He gave me His strength, His will, and His power. And that's where I get positive parents, how power comes from. God gave me His power so I can move with power.
But with Him, He's powerful.
Without Him, I can't do anything. It's crazy to say that everybody have a purpose. And sometimes you can't even take that purpose back when God gives you that purpose. So this is a will that I didn't want to do, but since God driving the wheel and I'm His child and He's going to lead me where He wants me to go, this is how I keep my strength. This is how I keep the love for others. I'm an educator. So I keep my love for others and other families to try to encourage them to be the truth for your youth that's who's out here using these illegal guns. See, because by far-fetched, me being an advocate, an educator, seeing this every day, working at an alternative school, I see where kids is not loved. There's failures in the home, which was always a failure. My mother was a failure. My father, I don't know him. So this is encouraging me what God is downloading me. I rest assured, I did not know I was going to be doing this. Going out advocating, talking to parents, praying for parents, I go right to the incident. And I go to people who you don't know. But I didn't realize that was discipleship work. So I'm discipling now. God is taking my purpose a little wider. You know, He's using me in different areas where I can encourage the father. Fathers is the ones who mainly need encouraging, guys. Because we're has this statistic in black African American home, if a father's not there, then the kids are not raised right. Well, you know, I figure that's a little stigma, you know. But it's true in some factors and it's not true because I'm fatherless. And it's 3 females, me, my sister, and I. And I say that's possibly true because as long as you put God in everything, you should be able to raise your children, if not 100% right, you're going to get by 65% right. So that encouraged me to go out and do what I need to do. Publicly, don't get it twisted. I cry and I moan and I hit the floor. And I constantly pray. You have to bow down on your knees. You have to confess that anger and that attitude. You have to put that aside. God died for us. He put all that aside. And think of the bigger picture. So you, my family, whom you don't know me, all over the world, you, my family, that cannot utter what Miss Hamilton uttered. You are a positive parent. You got to get together like me and Mr. Chico and try to push your pain to the side because you have a purpose to come collectively for unity in our city. Yes, all over the world, but we got to work on Montgomery, Alabama first.
And shout out to Mississippi. But you said so. Back in the day, it was indeed a village. If there wasn't a father in the home, there was an uncle, there was a granddad,
yes,
there was a neighbor, a family friend, or whatever, and there was a village. So there was somebody to teach those skills,
yes,
and mannerisms to our young people.
Yes.
So Tim is still here,
yes, he is.
Right? What would he say today if after seeing you, keeping his name alive and advocating for people and things like that, and empowering people, what would he say today? I know he would dance, jump into the dance competition, but what would he say?
He would say, Mama, you always been brave. You always had this loud mouth, so this loud mouth is a trumpet. I say the trumpet that is so loud to keep the awareness going to black on black crime, to gun violence, to innocent people. He would say, Mama, you a warrior. You ain't never just stop pushing for your family. You have always been outside, outdoors. Even when his friends would come home with him, he respectfully knew, you cannot come in the house. We can sit outside because I already know my mama. She'll turn up as the kids say. I will, because you have to respect.
This is true. She will turn up.
I love you, but we got to draw the line. Where there's respect, there's discipline, there's honoring. There's no honoring. So I know my son would say, hey, y'all, don't play with my mama. Because I know that little fiery little lady right there. Let me give you an incident, JD. I'm a model JD. Cell phones that just came in, that they can have them inside the school. I do not agree. Let me say it as an education. I do not agree with these cell phones being in these schools. This was this was 2007. I never forget it. And I had to come to JD. Principal April, shout out, retired, came to the school. And they said, Mama, we had to take to the phone. He said, we already know you because you was an athlete. I'm already known for a lot of things before advocating. And I got it now, and this is the God honest truth. I took that phone and I smashed it.
to the next table?
Church bumpers. And because there is order everywhere, young people, parents, there is order. We are out of order of a lot of things. And when they tell you to put these cell phones up, back then there was lockers. Put it in your locker. When my son got out of order and I went to school to put him in order. And you're talking about standing 6'1". He did not move, he did not grunt, he did not do anything because I paid for that phone. And I mean when I say put it in your locker, put it in your locker. And right then and there, I asked Mr. Abel for a pallet. He said, oh, wait a minute, Miss Hamilton. We don't use pallets anymore. And that's what's missing. Discipline, prayer, and order. In that order.
In that order. Yeah, I remember those pallets back then. Back in the day, you know, as I said, there was a village, and the village consisted of teachers, preachers, family, neighbors, you name it. We had all of it. You turning your pain into purpose and doing all this great work. Did people gravitate towards you? How did people respond to you? Or did people always support you?
Montgomery, Alabama as a whole, we're going to have to change our mindset. Because I was one of the first mothers. A lot of margin is going around. A lot of prayer walks going around. I want to say nationally. I want to say to Montgomery, Alabama. I was the first mother who stood up and stood out to start the prayer walk. I started at 954 Highland Avenue where my son laid down to pass away. And I did not, in the beginning, I was started a little bit with 3 individuals getting killed at a local club where I partied at, with my mother partied at. Top Flight was one of the rated southern clubs in Alabama. You can come from Georgia, Chicago, and New York. We partied right there. And
the state would rise up.
I tell you, we would have a great time. But had I known the youth, which is my son, Miss Johnson and Dobie, to go there to have a great night, to end up at a club, getting a call late night, 3 individuals, I couldn't believe it, people. I could not believe it. But the march started there. You know how you start something like Martin Luther King, Sojourner Truth? I am the next. I started it, and it hurts me from Montgomery, Alabama, to pull back. To pull back with 3 individuals. That was the first triple homicide in Alabama, all over. And especially with a rapper. That hurted me so. And now to this day, you can barely still get a lot of families. It is so many babies. When I say babies between 12 and 17, parents that told me it's locks and sticks. Let me tell you something. You trying to act like you don't know what's going on. But if it's 13 years later, and I know for a fact, working at alternative school, these are babies. You cannot turn your cheek to the other side and not care about these kids. Starting a walk, keeping Tim's name alive. And I still love on Dobie and Kim. But I can only press for my child. You mean to tell me black African American prayer, black on black crime, the east side, the north side, the south side, and the west side of Montgomery, Alabama? You know how many babies gonna be killed after this? After. It hurts. It is hurt. It is time for us to rise up as a people. Don't worry about the white man, Chinese man, Hispanic man, Japanese man. Because it ain't that man but one man that you need to be asking you to push forward to save our youth. Is you, the man in the mirror. Keep talking about, it's not my child. It's not my nephew. It's not my baby daddy. It ain't my uncle. Listen, I used to tote the weight on my shoulders when I used to march and pray and ask the councilors to come. Because they know me. I asked the mayor to come. And at that time it was Todd Strange. Listen, and I'm going to say this nationally too. It was just as many murders, homicide, with Mayor Strange being the mayor. It's just as many. You hear me? As many as Stephen Reed. And it's just not their problem. I'm tired of people just putting it on the list. Positive parents, what you gonna do? When you gonna come out of your shell and your cupboard hole? When are you gonna come out of ministers and pastors? When are you gonna come out of your church and your clergy? When are you gonna come out? It's hurting. Marching is over with. Martin Luther King did that 80 years ago. He did that. They did that in order for us to be free. And now we're turning this eternally in slavery. You're internally enslaving your own black youth by not opening your mouth.
Right. You asked the question, like, when are they going to activate? When are they going to come out?
When?
The people, I think so much has happened. You turn on the news or the social media, somebody's fighting or somebody's being killed. It's become so normalized that I think a lot of people are numb to it. Do you think that people actually care now if somebody died? Or are we numb?
We're so numb till we're so dumb.
That's a t-shirt.
And what I mean by that, don't take that and run with it. Do you love yourself? Do you love your people? Do you love your kind? And don't get it twisted. I'm talking about all mankind. Because we also advocated Black Lives Matter. I don't agree. And don't chime in talking about you disagree. Because now you're giving the other race to say they just matter. God's children, we all matter. And what hurts me, we're piggyback on what other states are doing. It ain't even correcting what goes on in Alabama. Do you vote for anything since you're so numb? Since you're so numb, it is so many bills that you don't chime into, and they're getting ready to run a race now. All the way from presidential, governor, mayor, councilors might be the last one. Get ready to tune in. What are you going to vote for? You so numb. Between 18 right now, they need to have a bus. Listen, any leaders, I tell you this, great suggestions, because I ain't holding nothing back. Everybody that's 18 and Black African American school in Alabama, you get your charter bus as you's a leader, mayor, as you's a leader, governor, whoever's finna become after whoever's with right now, present, future. Get on the charter bus. Come to these schools. Listen, we need to know who you are and who we voted for. And you teach and instruct and guide these 18 years of age at these schools to vote and see how many votes you get in. See how many votes you get. It's time for us to rise up. You know, we too numb and sitting over in the corner and getting on YouTube. Listen, it's grown people, 53 years old, my age, stay on most Instagram, Snapchat, all the major platforms, and you don't have anything good to say. Then you on Montgomery Uncut, Rhetorical Pratfield, you on all this negativity about Alabama. Don't keep, this ain't no slavery state, you enslaving yourself. It hurts me that black on black is really despising each other. I'm talking about this is where you teaching your youth. Listen, you're teaching our youth division, doubt, darkness. And this is where it's coming from. It's coming from our age. This is where they get it from. It starts with us. Generational curse.
So you mentioned social media. The being prideful. What role does social media and pride and street affiliation play?
By being an instructor, by being a teacher, let me tell you, socially, social media was branded on family, love, and meet people all around the world. With socially now, for black African Americans, what I can see, I'm going to say the era between 12, might be 50. Socially, it is so negative. It is so hurtful. We stroll up and down negative. Listen, you might as well socially. Our children socially don't know how to put this phone down. But know everything what's going on from listen, it's so disgraceful socially when a child can pick up a cell phone and record a death. Listen, in my incident 13 years ago, 2013, they recorded our children's death. It socially in the mind, socially in the heart. It breaks my heart socially. These children do not know how to socially write, socially speak, socially talk, socially. They don't socially know how to, integrate between you and I. It's so emotional. It's so mental now. They break it down, y'all. And it breaks us down as adults, as parents, emotionally, mentally. It's draining. It's draining.
It's indeed draining, but what must change and what do you want your son to be?
My son's legacy is that my younger boy, God is so good.
What's your younger son?
Tristan.
We'll say Tristan.
My youngest son, Tristan. He reminds me a lot of Chico. And I carry that young man everywhere I go. I told him to open his mouth. He spoke at the city council twice. And that lets me know I'm doing my job as a mother. To keep his oldest brother, Tim, name alive. When you in school, son, he's in middle school. Tristan's in middle school. We often march. We often pray. We often walk. We often feed the homeless. We do a lot for our people. People, we got to come outside our shell and teach our youth to love. I speak about love on my son. I speak to these kids by putting these weapons down. We got to think before we speak, and we got to speak and use our mind before we put our hands on these weapons.
Self-control.
Self-control. That is one. I was just telling them about that today. We got to have self-control. We got to teach self-control. And even if it's not in school, that's what we're teaching. It's rules and regulations to everything. We must follow rules even as adults. You and I. So if rules and regulations not taught at home, and then if you get them outside the walls of the home, then they bring it to other people that's trying to respectfully lead and guide them the right way. That's what's going on. The leadership.
Yes. And one thing that's, in my opinion, it's picked up over recent years, but a lot of black families don't believe in therapy.
Therapy. Oh, thank you.
I have a lot of friends that are therapists.
Oh my God.
Counselors.
Yes.
Things like that. And we need you all to come and step forth and lead because, and kind of dispel the myth that therapy is okay.
Yes, it is.
It's good to to go to the preacher and pray, because how can you hear without preaching the Bible says that? I think he does that. Okay. That sounds good. But we also need the steps on how to get out of the situation, to learn how the mind works. Why am I having these thoughts? Why am I thinking this way if I experience these things? And to put a name on it. So we need counselors, we need therapists, we need protectors, we need prayer warriors, as stated. So, I don't want you mentioned the hospital guard.
Yes. After I return to school, I do a lot. I love on you babies. If you got nieces and nephews here, if you got a son or daughter here, I do a lot for these kids. And when you said therapy, let me say that again. In the beginning, being a hard-headed year-old mother, being 40 years old, never was taught about therapy, never was introduced about therapy. And we have that in the school setting, and even outside the school setting. You parents need that. You know, if you need it, they have alternative things for you and your family. Me and my youngest son, Tristan, we had therapy for 6 years now. Mind you, he was a baby, 2 years old. It does not matter how young you are and how old you are. In between that, you still would have breaks. On last year, my baby boy Tristan lost his father for 2 years. We're back in therapy. We need it because that's a mental thing. You know what I'm saying? That's an emotional thing. That's an empathy and a sympathy thing. And yes, we do need that. Please, families, let's speak up about that. We do need to have therapy and counseling. That brings about a lot of love and peace. That brings about a lot of empathy. Some people loses it. They really do. I know the families I talk to, a lot of people say they don't need it, but I know a lot of people came back and said they need it. And how we do therapy here, I wanted to mention, we do it through art. These are some very talented kids. Alternative don't mean that everyone have a situation, an issue that go through. All of us has been through something. If I had any time, I'll break you down my younger issues, because everybody done been through something. But by the grace of God, and by the grace of those grandparents, it teaches you, it has you to reflect and say, guess what? I'm going to put those things aside. Because a lot of these things is being thrown on these kids.
And I tell people all the time, me and my friends talk about it. Thank God there wasn't no cell phone.
There wasn't no cell phone back then. But even to this day, parents, you got to know how to put this, what do they call that, restriction on there. And you got to take these cell phones. These kids only doing what we have given them.
Yeah, boundaries are love.
Boundaries is love. And so, like we said, we do therapy through art, and we have a therapy through a garden. And it's going to be called, my baby, Tim's Garden. We want to plant love. We want to give love. Feed people with love. We also have a feeding ministry. So we do a lot of great things with our baby in any school, not just at the school that we work at. Any school, we try our hardest, y'all. Teachers, our parents, don't forget that. Our grandparents, we trying our best, but we need parents to come back and start these PTAs. We need parents to come back. Listen, don't keep talking about magnet school. Don't keep talking about private schools, because before all those schools, it's going to always be public school. Always. So you take your time and diligence on this day. Miss Torian Hamilton and the host Chico, we're asking you, we're encouraging you, we're inviting you. Every knee must bow and every tongue must confess. And you must get that guilt off of you. You must get that stress up off of you. You must get all those things to come forward to do what we need to do for our children. I say our children. Because I know we had some teachers back then, they might have uttered some things, but guess what? They still love us. Discipline is love. Yes, discipline is love. And listen, I'm with it when it comes back to discipline, y'all. Discipline need to go back in school. Prayer need to go back in school. I'm calling it from above. It got to go back in school. Public school, and where parents don't come in and intervene and help and collaborate. That's what makes the public school what they need to be from back then. I know we can do it, positive parents. I know we can do it.
So thank you so much. I know they enjoyed it, and I know I enjoyed it. I'm seeing the comments as they come in.
Thank you.
But this was powerful, and there's so much more to come. I feel like I know him. I can see him dancing. He's probably dancing right now. They can probably see him dancing and feel his energy. I'm sure they feel your energy.
Yes.
And it's been great. Today we heard the voice of a mother who did not ask to be strong, but became strong because she had no choice. So I want to say this clearly. Gun violence is not just a crime, it's a pain problem. It's a lack of love problem. It's a lack of guidance problem.
Yes.
It's a lack of opportunity problem. We can't keep lighting candles and posting RIPs like that is enough. We owe our youth more than funerals and t-shirts. We owe them mentors, we owe them structure, we owe them safety, we owe them hope. This Hamilton Tim's life matters. I say his name because his name matters. And the love you carry for him is bigger than any tragedy could ever be. Today, every parent watching, hug your baby tighter tonight. I don't care how old they are. Hug them tighter tonight.
Yes.
Every young person watching, your life is worth more than a moment of anger or confusion. Tell your parents that you love them tonight.
Yes.
To the city of Montgomery, let's stop waiting until the next mother and father suffers a loss. Let's save our youth while they're still here to be saved. Thanks for watching In the House with Chico. We're all welcome. Have a good day.
Thank you. Be blessed. Love is what love does. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.